Hey guys, so in the last video we created this Get Started page, and I actually noticed something that's kind of been frustrating me. I forgot to add an S to the end of Browse Courses. So I'm going to go ahead and change that real quick and give this an S. There. It doesn't really matter if you do that. You can and then resave your files. I just realized that I forgot it, and the next thing we're going to do is create that status bar that we see at the top of the register.png. Now, this isn't something that you're ever going to have to provide in a design. It's just going to automatically be included when an app is developed. But for the sake of repetition and for the sake of practice, let's go ahead and build it. Now, in the last video and the few videos before that, we've been operating at a 50% zoom. We're going to go ahead and change this to 100, and you can just type this down here, or you can hit Control plus to zoom in and Control minus to zoom out, and Command on a Mac. So we're going to start operating at 100%. This way you guys can see what I'm doing better, and we can also see what we're working on better. And we're even going to go up to 1000% zoomed in so we can see individual pixels and really create these pixel perfect elements. So let's go back to our register.png. I want to grab the status bar that we see at the top here, and I'm just going to grab my rectangular marquee tool, and I'm going to grab right around. Great. Now you'll notice when we grab our move tool and go to select anywhere outside here, it's going to drag the entire layer. Well, we don't want that. We just want the status bar here. So if you'll notice, when you put this move tool inside a selection like this, it's going to pull up scissors. So make sure you're inside the marching ants, these little guys running around the rectangle we've created, and select it. This is going to cut this part out, and we're going to drag it into our registration and paste it. Now I'm going to use Shift, and when you hold Shift, and we do this a lot, if I drag right and left, it's only going to go right and left. It won't adjust up or down. So I'm going to make sure this is centered horizontally. And then I'm going to hold Shift again and make sure it's centered vertically at the top. Okay, great. So we have our status bar from the other PNG, but I want to be able to create this ourselves. And like I said, we'll never have to, but doing this will repetitively use the same tools that we're learning, and it's just going to be better as far as practice goes. So let's keep this in our top bar. And I'm going to minimize this. Actually, let's drag this above the top bar because it's going to be our reference. And we're going to create a brand new group. And let's call this group status bar. Okay, great. Now we don't need to do the green background. Let's create these circles, and I'm going to show you guys really quickly how I would create the circles, and I'm going to tell you the font size, and whether it's light, medium, bold. And I want you guys, as the first challenge in this section, to create this exact status bar. So really quickly, let's grab our shape tool down here in the shape layer, the shape part on our toolbar bar, hold down, and we're going to grab our ellipse tool right there. Perfect. And I'm going to go ahead and zoom in even further. I'm going to add a 0 and zoom into 1000. Whoa. Now scroll up and to the left until we find what we're working on. We can see these exact pixels. Now a cool way to get the exact shape of something that's circular is to drag our ruler out. And I've mentioned this before, but if you haven't been able to find your rulers, make sure that when you go up to view view, show, make sure that guides is selected, or else you're not going to be able to see them. So let's drag a vertical guide out, just touching the left edge of these white pixels from the circle. And we're going to do the very same for the exact top. And I just want this to touch the very top of the pixels. And let's turn snap on so we can get an exact fit. Now with our ellipse tool selected, we're going to drag out a new shape. And this is going to create a brand new layer. I want my foreground color to be white. So let's go ahead and switch this and go up to this corner right here. And while holding shift or drag down, select shift, and shift is going to make an exact perfect circle. Let's drag out so we have this exact circle. Great. Now if I hide the status bar, so if I hide the status bar that we pasted before this, we have our circle there, and it's the exact same.